All right, so now what we have to do is previously on the previous section, we created this link tag, right? So where the user can navigate to elements and create. So basically, this is not supposed to be an link tag. What we are going to do is when I click this, it's going to trigger a model, right? That model is going to show up as a pop-up where the user can choose between what kind of layer that you are planning to create. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. So in order to do that, what we are going to basically do is in the shadcn, we have this option called Dialog. When I click this, that is going to bring this pop-up menu, right? Just exactly the same thing that we are planning to do right now. Okay, so all we have to do is to let me close this layouts providers, all these things, and let me get back over here and minimize it. Under the components, I'm going to create myself a new folder called modal.tsx and let me mark that as a client component. Okay, and I'm going to import certain things, which is these are all these things imported from add components, then rafc, which is going to be the model. Right, let me close this and I'm going to create myself a model props basically. And first I need the title, which is of course the string itself. Then I need the description. What is the description? And that is going to be an optional one, string. Then I need is open, whether that it is open or not, which is a boolean one. And I need on close function, which is going to be returning void. Then I need to have a children, which is going to be react dot react dot react node. Basically that is what it is going to render inside. Okay, and inside over here I'm going to have need to destructure all these things, model props, and I need to bring the title, then I need to bring the description, then I need to bring the is open, then I need to bring the on close, then I need to bring the children props. These are all the props, and inside here I'm going to say const on change is equals to open, which is the boolean parameter, here if not open I need to say on close, call that function, close it properly. Okay, so next what we need to do, we have to say close this dialog and let's open the dialog, which is going to be is open. Then on open changes, we need to call that on change method, which we have created over here, right? Then inside here I need to bring the dialog content. Then I need to bring the dialog header, and inside the dialog header I need to bring the dialog title, which is going to render the title. Then I need to bring the dialog description, which is going to render the dialog description. Description. Okay, so let's keep the descriptions as well as a compulsory one because they need to supply the description. Then right after here I need to bring the children content, right? So we need to bring the children, and let me wrap that into a division, that would be better. Okay, this is the model reusable model component. Now think about it, if you wish, if you are planning to create any like what to say any models or anything, all you have to do is to use this reusable component in order to create that model more effective. So now we need a model for creating it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a one more component over here called create modal.tsx. Now inside here, I'm going to say use client, then let's say RAFC, which is going to be create model. Let me delete this one, save it. Okay, that is what it is going to do. Then we sometimes this could cause an hydration error. So in order to avoid that hydration error, we have to use this use state, which is going to be is mounted, and by default it is going to be false. Then use effect hook, then empty array injection. Inside over here, set is mounted as true, and right after that, if not is mounted, if it is not mounted on the client, then I don't need to return anything. Return null. That's all we have to do. Now for this create model, I'm going to have a certain properties interface create modal props. First we need to have is open as a boolean one. Then I need to have a method for on close. Then I need to have a method for on confirm that changes. Then the loading state, which is going to be the boolean one. That's all I need to have. Then I need to destructure those things over here. Create modal props. Inside here, I'm just going to say is open, on close, on confirm, then loading state. All those things needs to be included. Then instead of this, all I have to say model from /model. For this, I need to supply the title basically, which is going to be what are we making. Then descriptions over here. Let's say create your own UI element by choosing the available options, by choosing from available options below, something like that. Okay, so now right after this description, what I have to do, let me save it, and then right after here I need to supply is open, which is open, and on close, which is going to be the on close itself, right? And inside here we are going to create a div, which is going to have be a class name, padding top, which is going to be 6, then space x, flex item center, justify everything at the end, and width, of course, it's going to be full. Here we are going to have two different buttons. Button one is for canceling and another one is for confirming it. Okay, so from add /UI button, close it, which is going to be cancel. Okay, so which is basically going to be look just exactly like this. Okay, basically it is going to be disabled if it is loading, and the variant is going to be outlined for cancel. This is going to be default, and on click it is going to confirm it. We are going to call that on confirm function, right? And inside over here, this is the place where we are going to display the main content. For the time being, I'm just going to say content. Okay, and we need to trigger that create model, right? So where I can trigger that create model. So basically this is the place where we are calling it. So all I'm going to do is use that alert model. Wait a moment. Just a minute. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so this is the place where we need to bring. So I'm gonna bring ourselves. I'm gonna wrap this. Okay. So otherwise, I'm gonna keep this. Uh, okay. Let's do one thing. What we can do is I'm gonna cut this out completely, and I'm gonna bring a React fragment, and I'm going to bring this. And under this React fragment, I'm gonna bring that create model. Okay. Now I need to supply something for these all these create model, which is going to be is open and all those things. So basically, which is going to be use state snippet is open, and by default we're going to keep it as a false. And let's apply for is open. We need to supply is open, and on close we need to say set open as a false one, and on confirm for the time being I'm going to keep it as an empty function, because this is the place where we need to call a function to create that UI element. And the loading state, for that loading I need a state, so use state is loading. By default it is going to be false, then loading, which is basically going to be the is loading. So save it. Right now you can't see anything, but when I click this, when I click that one, I need to trigger, right? I need to trigger that. So on click, set is open as a true. This should be capital letter. On click, set is open as true. And now if I click this, that is going to bring that exact model. Now if I cancel it, it is going to be closed. But when I click this confirm, it is going to confirm it, and it is going to whatever the content I selected, it is going to create that particular content, and it is going to push the user into the dashboard, right, where the user can able to maintain all his complete UI elements. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. So before that, we need to make some customizations. So if you check it out, uh, we have a way to improvise its size. So how to improvise the size? Let's click the dogs and let's check the references, data state. Okay, so let's open the model, and for this model we don't have that prop. So in order to change this particular width, right, there is no specific prop for change it, but what we can do is we can adjust the content size over here, class name. The medium devices onwards, let's leave it on small perfectly, but medium devices onwards, maximum width needs to be 3XL, something like that, right? But if you check it out, it will be perfectly fine on the mobile screen. It will be adjusted perfectly, right? Something like this. You don't have to worry about it, but on the medium devices it will be the 3XL size, right? So that's looking so good. And now all we have to do is to go ahead and create the content sections. Inside this content sections we need to make it more the look and feel of that needs to be more fine. So let's go ahead and do that now.